tonight. And how are the rest of you basketball nutty fans out there who are waiting to see the culmination of the great All-Filipino Conference of the 1983 Philippine Basketball Association season? Well, it's come down to this. The Crispa Redmanizers can very well decide the issue right here and now if they can make it 3 in a row against the Cinderellas of the All-Filipino Conference, the Gins of Gilbeys. Right now, the slate reads 2-0 in favor of Crispa in this supposed best-of-5 series for the championship. We have got a crowd of about 20,000, and that's a very modest estimate of the live audience here at the Araneta Coliseum, waiting to see the Crispa Redmanizers go for their 6th All-Filipino Conference title and their 10th Conference Championship. Either way, it's going to be a record. The 6th All-Filipino Championship and the 10th Conference title, which certainly will be a tough act for their nearest rivals, the Toyota Silver Coronas, to follow. Well, I don't have Andy Howe beside me right now because he just ran over to the Vintage Lounge to conduct an interview with Honey Boy Palanca, president of the Philippine Basketball Association and team manager of Gilbeys Gins. We have Honey Boy beside Andy Howe right now, and he should be able to shed light on what transpired during that very exciting wind-up of the game 2 nights ago, which Crispa won by the skin of their teeth. Over now to Andrew Howe.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Joe Catado. Good evening to everybody. Tonight, hope you're doing well. And I'm here at the Vintage Lounge, and we have what we call this the cap. We'd like to recap the second game between the Gilbeys Gin team and the Crispa Redmanizers, just in time with the president of the league, Mr. Honeyboy Palanca, who came in to watch that game. So we'll go over and recap that ball game. The Crispa Redmanizers seem to be comfortably ahead in that game, 114 to 103, 11-point lead with only 49 seconds left in the ball game. Let's take a look at that again. We can see there that that's a 3-point shot that was attempted by the Gilbeys Gin team when they were only down by 3 points, 117 to 114. That's right. And we could see that Steve Watson was not really able to field that ball, and eventually there was a foul against Ramon Cruz. He converted both free charities for a total of 119 points for the Redmanizers, 114. And right now we'd like to introduce our president, our very good friend, as the girls would love to call him, Hannah, Honey Boy, whatever you want, the president of the PBA and the manager of the Gilbeys Gin team. Honey Boy. Okay, thank you very much, Direk. I would like to welcome Honey Boy. He came back from the States and from England just in time to hope to see his team win a victory for him. It's about time, isn't it, Honey Boy?
Well, I was really surprised because on my way back, I read in the papers on the plane, you know, that Adolf had said that we were shooting at the moon to fight Crispa, and I was so mad at him, you know, but he didn't really mean it that way, you know. He said that, well, you know, he says that Crispa is obviously the team to beat, but there was no way we were going to allow ourselves to just lose like that, you know. I feel that the players really want to win this time, and I think tonight we're going to see a really very interesting game.
Well, Honey Boy, I just wanted to ask you one thing about that BTR. No? You were with Coach Turing Valenzuela in that game. Now, Steve Watson was obviously the one who was going to take the 3-point shot, but did you have any alternatives for any other player to take that shot? You know, in other words, the play was set up for a couple of players. Were you aware of the fact if Turing Valenzuela got anybody else to participate in that play?
I really should have Turing here, you know, because he's the one. But yes, I do know. I heard him say, I was on the bench at that time, and he said that he felt that Joseph should be the alternative. And in fact, Joseph would have taken that shot. Steve was the ruse, actually. He was supposed to be the fellow who would have distracted the players, and then it was supposed to be passed to Joseph Herrera. But that, as you know, Steve slipped, and he didn't even get the pass.
Honey Boy, something that's really surprised the fans of the PBA is that this is the second time in a row that you've entered the finals. Now, compared to the great teams like Crispa, Toyota, Great Taste, who have really big budgets and have been recruiting a lot of great players, your team is not really that heavy in budget, but you know, you've managed to always have a good performance from the team. To you, what do you attribute this?
Good management. Well, that's where Adolf is also very strong, our finance manager for the team. I mean, we feel that a lot of it relates to the psychological aspect as well as to the material aspect. And if you can equate both properly, as not only in running a team, but as in running a business as well, you obviously will have an advantage, not in terms of what you get in return for your investment. No?
A double question as my last question, Honey Boy. First of all, what are the plans of Gilbeys Gin in the second conference, no? And secondly, how do you think the PBA will fare in the second conference, the reinforced All-Filipino? Because in the past, the reinforced has always been the strongest as far as attendance is concerned.
Well, I feel that a Crispa Toyota game is very important, and while being the president of the PBA, I would have, of course, obviously felt that Crispa and Toyota, being the two strongest teams in the Filipino lineups that they have, would have come in. And I was pretty much surprised myself that the team came in, and this is why I'm looking forward to a strong showing, at least for my team, now that we are already in.
Who's your import in the reinforced All-Filipino? Can you confirm that for us?
Well, of course, we have Lou Masi, who's been very much a part of the team already. And I believe that he already knows the team very well, and I hope that nothing happens to him because he's already in town. No?
So we'll like to turn back to Joe Cantada, and Honey Boy will be our guest analyst in this ball game tonight, and he'll sit on with us pre-game and halftime before going on to meet with his teammates with his team in the bench, and I hope we'll get some good insights from the president of the PBA. We'll turn back to Joe right now.
Well, those certainly were very well chosen words from the Genghis Khan of the Young Turks, now running the Philippine Basketball Association. And to give you the proper frame of reference, the Adolf Honeyboy kept referring to in that interview with Andy Howe is not Adolf Hitler, but Adolf, the finance manager of La Tondena Incorporada. Okay, we'll have more interviews, this time from our man in the ball, Danny Zambrano, right after this. All the volcanic eruptions in my face. All right, over now to Danny Zambrano for an interview with Tommy Manotok.
Thank you very much, Joe. Now we have the man of the hour, ladies and gentlemen, the coach of the Crispa Redmanizers, Coach Tommy Manotok. Coach, will it be tonight or another night?
Hopefully tonight. I think we've prepared things for tonight. Hopefully the breaks fall our way. And hopefully for Crispa, this will be their first sweep in the PBA, which I think they really deserve. They deserve a sweep championship.
You know, Coach, we have observed that you have given your reserve players more playing time. What is the reason for this?
Well, I've always believed in using your bench if you have one, basically. And I've always felt that Crispa's bench is about the deepest bench that you can have locally. And in the All-Filipino, in which there are no American players, this is a big plus factor, which I think I have used in this conference, which is my bench. It's so strong that it doesn't really matter who I put in out of the 10 guys.
You know, basketball experts say that you're going to use the half-court press all the way. Could you expound on this, Coach?
Well, basically, we pressure the ball, overplay the receiver, and weak side help. Yeah, half-court press, yeah, pressing the ball, basically.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach, and good luck. Now, back to the games.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're just about ready for the decisive third game of this best-of-5 championship series between the Crispa Redmanizers and Gilbeys Gins. And Andrew Howe has already joined me here at the desk, along with the very good-looking president of the Philippine Basketball Association, Honeyboy Palanca.
There you can see him. He's really good-looking.
Number 15, Fabiosa.
Almost as good looking as the two of us, huh? All right. Let's turn now to the floor where we have the starting five of Crispa being introduced. Already we see Bernie Fabiosa, Freddy Obalde, Philip Cesar, Atoy Go, and Abed Gidabin. Take it up from the Gilbeys side, Andrew.
Okay, we have the Gilbeys Gin team. They're going to start off with Rad Pasco, number 6. He'll play guard for their team.
Number 11, Vargas.
Number 11, of course, the new superstar of the PBA, Gary Vargas, finding a home in the Gilbeys Gin team, together with the center of the team, Ed Ducot, standing 6 feet 5. And this is a good change that I see from Turing Valenzuela. Today he's going to use Saldana as a power forward, and that's going to add a lot of height to his team. And of course, the little general, number 24, one of the best playmakers we have, Willie Generalao.
Well, needless to say, the Gilbeys Gins are coming into this game with their backs to the wall, beleaguered, be embattled and absolutely with their last chance to extend this series into a fourth game. Some stats on your screens.
We can see the percentages in field goal. They're pretty even, but the factor where Gilbeys really suffered was from the foul throw line. They only converted 16 out of 28, and if they had done a little better, they would have won the ball game. They only lost that ball game by 5 points, and it's in the rebounding department where the Redmanizers really killed them, 63 against 48. And for me, I'd like to predict that for the Gilbeys Gin team, despite Honey Boy's presence here, for them to win this ball game, they must shoot at least 50%, and they must be able to control the rebounds. They must out-rebound the Redmanizers tonight.
Referees for this match are Messrs. Cruz, De La Cruz, and Iñosa, wearing numbers 3, 18, and 20, respectively. This is Dr. Cruz holding the ball. He is going to do the honors of the center circle. Jumping will be Abed Gidabin for Crispa and Ed Ducut for Gilbeys. The game is underway. Cesar gains initial possession for Crispa. Freddy Ubalde sails in for the layup. Going first blood for the Redmanizers. Barely 3 seconds into the game. 2-0 is the count. Here is Willie Generalao, guarded by Bernie Fabiosa. Good matchup here. Failure by Generalao from the side. The rebound to Watoyko. Bernie brings it down court. Terry Saldana looking behind him. Freddy Ubalde, baseline drive. He runs right into a human rampart and is guilty of charging.
That's right, Joe. We have the... I would like to talk to the president of the PBA, Honey Boy. How do you think of the crowd? Earlier you were saying to me that Crispa and Toyota could have drawn a bigger crowd, but this is a pretty good-sized crowd, especially the fact that your team has not won any game against the Redmanizers so far.
So I'm very happy that I believe that we really have a lot of Gilbeys fans already. I'm hoping that we show them more might and then therefore gain more.
That's true, Honey Boy, because in the past, the UTEX Wranglers, after winning one championship, they suddenly had a lot of fans, you know, but right now they're not in the league. Perhaps the Gilbeys Gin team can take over.
Well, I tell you we will.
And we will find out if that's going to come true. Both clubs are running right now. Couple of misses on both sides.
Two great blocks by the Terry Saldana of Abed Gidabin. Prevented that easy layup by Abed Gidabin.
And Vargas takes an 18-footer. He misses. They keep it alive. Pasco misses the tip in. 2-0 is still to count. Gilbey still has to break into the scoring column.
What you can see in the game of the Gilbeys Gin is that they're really going to the offensive and defensive boards. They're really playing tough. It's a go for broke ball game for them. There's nothing to lose, you know.
They're applying practically a full court press. Both their guards are meeting the Crispa ball carriers right in the backcourt.
That's exactly what we heard, Joe, the possibility. And I wonder if Coach Tommy Manotoc has anything for that kind of a pressure defense that the Gilbeys Gin team is going to put up.
Well, we'll find out soon enough. The game is only 1.5 minutes old. Too early to tell. A backdoor play attempted there by Gilbeys went awry, but they will keep the basketball. You know, earlier you and Honey Boy were talking about the very sad loss of the ball by Steve Watson during the crucial closing seconds of that game. While Steve is sitting on the bench right now, I'm sure he's going to see action later on. But right now, I'd like to talk about another Steve, whom we may never get to greet on Tuesday, because this game may never get to Tuesday. So we'd like to take this opportunity to greet him now. Steve Catan, our man from Brooklyn, is going to be, what, 27 on...
I'll make him too old, Joe.
Okay. Abed Gidabin was spotted by the referee stepping on the baseline.
That's right, and we have a 4-0 count. The Gilbeys Gin team, they've attempted 6 times at the basket, no conversion so far.
Again, a quick look at the rosters. Gidabin, Co, Fabiosa, Ubalde, and Cesar for Crispa, Saldana, Vargas, Ducut, Pasco, and Generalao for the red shirts of Gilbeys. Generalao against Bernie Fabiosa. There's a pick set up by Ducut.
An illegal block is called against Ducut in that play.
That's the first team foul for Gilbeys, as against 3 for the Redmanizers.
We'd like to ask Honey Boy if he gives any special instructions to Turing Valenzuela, because I've noticed that you always observe the games, including the games of the opponents. So, you know, sometimes you may be able to give him some of your observations.
Well, Andy, you know, we, apart from what we hear from other really good observants of basketball, we we really try to leave the rest to the coach. I believe that that's one way of managing a team well. You leave the coach because he knows the game better than you. And you work on how well you can compensate your players in terms of material gains as well as morale-wise. You know?
Are you very satisfied with the performance of Turing Valenzuela and Boy Afable?
Very, very satisfied.
Well, the pressure is really telling on the performances of both clubs. Error after error, turnover after turnover. That was a brilliant breakaway by Abed Gidabin to give Crispa a 6-point lead. It's 6-love, actually.
And this is not tennis either.
No. Gary Vargas finds Dugot. Gidabin is on him. Generalao puts up a prayer, and the Lord answers it with 2 points. 6-2. First basket for Gilbeys in this third and crucial encounter in the best-of-5 series for the All-Filipino Championship. Backdoor play attempted there by Crispa. The fadeaway by Ubalde. Nope. Ducut for the rebound. Here is Generalao. Pass intended for Vargas, intercepted by Philip Cesar. He staves up Dugut. Bernie Fabiosa. Ko picks up the garbage and puts it in.
Well, Atico is shooting well today, you know. Ordinarily in the past few games, he doesn't really get going until the second or third quarter, but today he has hit 2 shots already.
Well, he's super hyped up, Andrew.
I think the teams generally, both of the teams are. No?
Well, especially Atoico. Remember when we had him as our Magnolia best player about 2 or 3 games ago, he said that they wanted to finish this series very early so that they can rest.
Oh, Gidabin dunks that ball.
And the Crispa Redmanizers fanatics are beside themselves with elation, seeing an 8-point lead by their favorite club, 10-2. Willie Generalao against Bernie Fabiosa. He gets away. Beautiful pass to Ducut. And Ducut does not come across. Bernie Fabiosa fumbles. Ball is alive. And a foul by Bernie Fabiosa to retrieve the lost leather.
Foul, Fabiosa. Pasco.
That's 14 fouls now for Crispa, and Rod Pasco is replaced by Alex Clarino. Alex Clarino is one of those great revelations in the semi-final stages and these final matches. Huh?
That's true. He played very well against the Great Taste Discoverers and the Toyota Super Coros. Was very instrumental in their victories over both of these teams.
So it's Alex Clarino versus Atoico now. Saldana with a great interception. Willie Generalao for the ball carrying Shores and the orchestration of the Gilbeys offensive. Bernie Fabiosa sticking to him like a Siamese twin. He shakes off Fabiosa and snaps in a shot.
Well, Willie Generalao must be Honey Boy's favorite player.
I don't blame him. 10-6 is the count.
Good deflection again by Terry Saldana, his third block in the ball game.
Clarino intimidated by Gidabin. Generalao spots and misses. Ball getting away from Terry Saldana. There's a long outlet pass intercepted again by Willie Generalao. Now you see why Willie is Honey Boy's favorite. This is Terry Saldana working off Radio Balde. Is stopped for traveling. 10-6 is the count. 6 minutes and 47 seconds left in the first inning. Crispa Redmanizers came into this game with a 2-0 advantage over Gilbeys. Atoico from the side. Yes!
Yeah, out of 3 for Atoico, and you can see the way the Crispa Redmanizers break that half-court press that the Gilbeys Gin has been doing with a screen by Philip Cesar for Bernard Fabiosa.
Ato is burning hot. And like you said, it's very unusual to see him come out of the bench right at the start, blazing with both barrels.
We have the tap out called against the Redmanizers. 14 seconds left in the shot clock for the Gilbeys Gin team.
Terry Saldana doing the honors from the right sideline. Willie Generalao has it. Gary Vargas against Philip Cesar. Generalao guarded by Fabiosa. Gets it into Vargas, and the ball is taken out of Vargas' hands by Atoico. The Redmanizers with a fast break in the making. Bernie Fabiosa. Okay, he sags out. Oh, beautiful back pass to Eddie Ubalde, but he blew it.
Eddie Ubalde had a golden opportunity for 2 points there. Still a 12-6 count in favor of Crispa.
5 minutes and 52 seconds left first quarter. Here is Willie Generalao. Alex Clarino getting a lot more playing time than he ever did. Terry Saldana draws the double coverage, leaving Gary Vargas open for the 18-footer. It bounced in and out. Fabiosa almost lost it to the baseline, not quite. Here is Abed Gidabin. They're in the front court now. Let's see how Gidabin fares against Vargas. He missed it through the window.
That's right. He had an in and out play there. Pressure must be telling on the players.
Oh, Vargas controls. Henarolao makes his move. From the sideline, he took 1 step too many. We've got a first timeout with that time. Rudy, okay, we've got 5 minutes and 15 seconds left in the first quarter. In case you've just joined us, the score is 12 for Crispa, 6 for Gilbeys. And may we take this opportunity to invite you after this game, and this surely is going to work up a big appetite for everybody, for some authentic Filipino dishes, lively rondalia music in a truly Filipino setting. That's eating the Kamayan way. The Kamayan restaurant located in Pasay Road, Makati, and Padre Fauda Ermita. You can't say enough about their succulent lechon de leche, which they offer every day.
That's right, Joe. And right now we have the Red Manizers keeping possession of the ball with 6 seconds left in their shot clock.
Philip Cesar harassed by Ducot. Fabiosa almost having the ball stolen from him by Willie Henarolao. Israel is open. Yes.
And Israel was sent in during the timeout to replace Freddy Hobaldo, while for the Gilbeys Gin team, Gary Vargas getting a rest in favor of Steve Watson.
An 8-point spread by the Crispa Red Manizers, 7 minutes into the game. Steve Watson. Okay, let's see what the referee declares here.
We saw a splash between Bernard Fabiosa and Willie Henarolao. Last touch called against Willie Henarolao.
Right, we saw a big collision there between two little giants. Cesar lobs it into Padim, who's very tightly guarded by Watson, and the very tight guarding of Watson forced Padim into that traveling error.
We can see that they're trying to post up Padim Israel. He stands 6 feet 3.5, and he should have a good advantage over anybody who guards him except Ducot.
All right, here's Steve Watson with his very familiar kerchief wrapped around his forehead. Oh! First attempt, first bucket.
Well, that's a good substitution made by Turing Valenzuela. We can see Gary Vargas is not really performing that well, being covered very well by Philip Cesar. So get another guy in, and Gary Vargas can come back in the second quarter.
Ball tapped out of bounds by Ed Ducot, so the Red Manizers will keep the basketball with 4 minutes and 1 second left. 15 seconds of the shot clock of Crispa. Israel will inbound. Honey boy, I can't help but feel that somehow maybe your absence during the first game of this final series had some kind of a psychological effect on your boys.
Thank you for giving me so much importance, Joe. But I believe the players, you know, they've played their best, and they realized that they were coming into a very strong final. They probably didn't have enough momentum with them in the beginning. I wish they had more.
Well, one thing is certain, whether they win or lose this game, they definitely have come a far longer way than anybody figured they would.
Yes, that includes me, you know, and Honey Boy again has proven me wrong.
Well, that's the second time in a row that Honey Boy has proven you wrong, because he did that in the last open conference where the Gilbeys Gin surprisingly made it to the finals against the Toyota Super Corollas. They were then known as the Super Corollas.
That's right, Joe.
14-8 is the count, a 6-point lead for Crispa. Philip Cesar misses with a sailing layup. Abed Kidaban is right there. 16-8, 3 minutes and 6 seconds left in the first quarter. Ducot gets a cross-court pass. He goes up against Abed, and the referee says, hold it, traveling. A turnover for the Red Manizers, wearing the white shirts with a green trim. Here is Abed Kidaban working inside heavy traffic, and we've got another contact whistle.
A blocking foul called against Saldana, Terry Saldana.
Bingo Rosario replacing Ducot, and we have another timeout. Right now, this is hardly what I would call a honey shot, but it certainly is the face of a true blue PBA fan. Well, earlier we noticed that Billy Ray Bates, the import of Crispa, in the forthcoming reinforced Filipino conference, is already seated at the bench of Tommy Manotoc. I have a feeling that Tommy Manotoc is parading Billy Ray Bates for shock purposes. Are you sufficiently intimidated by this, Honey Boy?
Well, I think we have a very good player, Lou Massey, so I don't know.
Lou Massey is 6'5" and stands about 220. This guy is 6'3", about 220 also. They're really big people. And we also had, in our delayed telecast, an interview with Billy Ray Bates, so I'm sure that our fans would like to watch that game and watch for that interview.
Oh, that is an interview worth looking forward to. Okay, we've got another foul. This time by Bing Del Rosario, who came in for Ducot before the timeout.
There were a couple of substitutions for the Red Manizers who changed in the backcourt. We have Cristobal and Ramon Cruz coming in for Bernard Fabiosa and Atoy Co.
Right now, let's watch by Cristobal. Philip Cesar against Del Rosario. He draws the double coverage and a foul. from Alex Clarinho.
Foul, Clarinho.
So far, with 2 minutes and 38 seconds to go, none of the teams are really in penalty trouble. 5 team fouls for Gilbeys against 4 for the Redmanizers. So both teams are still far away from the penalty situation.
And we've got 2 minutes and 34 seconds left of the first period. Here's Abed Gidabin. He gets a lob pass from Philip Cesar. Got it in.
And they've been playing good defense. You know, they've scored only 18 points, but they have limited the Gilbeys Gin team to only 8 points so far.
Here is Steve Watson. He got it to Terry Saldana. Look at him challenging the giants of Crispa and losing it to them. Here's Philip Cesar, gives it back to Moncruz. He rises high from the side, misses. Philip Cesar frontally missing.
And you can see Philip, they're getting 2 offensive rebounds. Last touch called against Alex Clarinho. He's being replaced right now by another great guard, Joseph Herrera, for the Gilbeys Gin team.
Joseph Herrera sparkled like nobody's business in that last game of this series. Huh?
That's true.
Moncruz hitting the side of the board. Fatim Ismael a trifle short. Bing Del Rosario keeps it alive for Gilbeys. Joseph Herrera now picked up by Cristobal. 1 minute and 49 left in the first period. Gilbeys down by 10. Steve Watson firing from the three-point territory. Nope. Oh, Bing Del Rosario saved it. Here's Terry Saldana against Philip Cesar, despite the outstretched hands of Philip.
Good move, good cut there by Terry Saldana. He was given the ball at the right time, right place. 18-10 count for the Redmanizers.
1 minute and 29 to go. Contact whistle as Cristobal sprinted down court with a leather. The foul was called on Herrera. Philip Cesar is replaced by Yoyoy Villamin. A powerhouse for a powerhouse.
Yes, and despite that sprained ankle, Yoyoy Villamin seems to be in very good shape in that last game out, so he should be really well today. Abed Gidabin with a short 12-footer.
Abed Gidabin already has 10 points. That's half the output of Crispa so far.
And that's the lead that the Redmanizers have over the Gilbeys Gin team.
That's right. Joseph Herrera finds Willie Generalao. Moncruz guarding Generalao. Here's Terry Saldana again challenging the giants of Crispa, this time drawing a foul.
Foul,
Villamin just picked up his first foul. That's 5 team fouls now for Crispa.
2 free throws for Terry Saldana. Let's take a look at that on our slow motion there. The foul of Yoyoy Villamin using his body to push off Terry Saldana.
Terry Saldana, the young man you earlier mentioned as having found his place in the sun with the Gilbeys Gins. And indeed, he is living up to the expectations of Honeyboy Palanca and the rest of the coaching staff of Gilbeys.
He has 6 points right now of their total of 12.
Yoyoy Villamin finds Gidabin open. Fatim. Gidabin could have elected to take the shot, but he chose the higher percentage shot by Fatim Israel.
Of course, for a while there, Fatim Israel was a little bit surprised. He got that pass, so he had to throw up a semi-hook without the use of the board.
22-12, another 10-point lead for Crispa. Del Rosario missing from 18. And we've got a loose ball foul spotted by the referee.
Against Villamin for backing off Terry Saldana. Good call there by referee Totoy de la Cruz.
Referee Iñosa handing the ball to Willie Generalao. This is Joseph Herrera. Terry Saldana with a turnaround off Villamin.
He's performing very well for the team. He's really fighting hard. 8 points in the ball game for him. The lead is down to only 8.
Time left, only 21 seconds in the first inning by Cristobal. Pressured in the backcourt by Herrera. Moncruz moving to the right flank. Abed Gidabin again.
And Gidabin's really doing the damage. Nobody's covering him up there at high post. They're sagging down too much. Only 5 seconds left in the first quarter.
24-14. Well,
foul, Cruz.
the clock is down to 2 seconds. A foul is spotted on Moncruz. Let's see what Gilbeys can do with 2 seconds. They have to bring it over to Saldana, possibly. Del Rosario will have to put it up now. It went in and it's counted. It's counted. We'll be right back.
More effective than alcohol. Be alcohol.
1 act down, 3 more acts is the unfolding epic of the 3rd game in the best-of-5 series for the All-Filipino Championship between Crispa and Gilbeys. Joseph Herrera from the side. Bingo!
Good play there set up by the Gilbeys Gin team. Joseph Herrera, good outside shot from about 20.
And the Crispa lead is down to 6 points. And the second inning is 21 seconds old. By Cristobal, harassed no end there by Joseph Herrera. Turnaround shot by Abed Gidaben again.
He seems to be unstoppable up to this point. Abed Gidaben, 14 points, Joe.
And he's playing the high post, and nobody seems to be able to stop him from
He's
there.
been moving well around the 3-second area. We have a loose ball foul called against Ramon Cruz in that play.
26-18 is the count. Okay, that's the first team foul for Crispa in this second quarter as against an immaculate slate for Gilbeys. Bing Del Rosario heading off to Willie Generalao, and Mon Cruz going wherever Generalao goes. Whither thou goest, I will go.
Yes, Shakespeare.
Here is Steve Watson traveling. Turnover for the Redmanizers.
Again, Joe, we have 2 Class A referees in this ball game for the championship game. For the Redmanizers, for the Gilbeys Gin team, a chance to get back.
Crispa's long rifles are really booming tonight. Mon Cruz is showing his hot hand that made him such a standout as an amateur a few years back. 28-18 is the count, a 10-point lead for the Redmanizers, looking for their 6th All-Filipino championship. And that was Joseph Herrera puncturing the hoop from 18.
You can see that there's a steal there by Willie Generala, which we must acknowledge, on that inbounds by the Crispa Redmanizers.
Steve Watson, yes, sir.
Two great conversions from the outside, cuts down the lead to only 6 points, 28-22.
Well, the Gins are making a game of it this early. They're not allowing the Redmanizers. They're not making the same mistakes they did in the previous games where they allowed the Redmanizers to really go into town, forcing them to really press very hard in the closing stretches. Here is Joseph Herrera underneath. Yes, sir.
Great pass by Willie Generala, and a 6-0 burst by the Gilbeys Gin team cuts down the lead to only 4.
28-24. Time left before halftime is 10 minutes and 1 second. By Cristobal against Joseph Herrera. Villamin moving in, and he's called for an illegal block.
And that's the 3rd personal foul called against Villamin. So he's really not in a great playing shape ever since he got that injury. And we can see Coach Tommy Manotoc immediately reacting to that 3rd personal foul. The statistics, Redmanizers shot 50% in the first half as compared to only 33 for Gilbeys.
Mon Cruz once again sticking to the wily Willie. Only 8 seconds left in the shot clock of Gilbeys, and we have a foul by Yoyoy Villamin. That's his 2nd in a row. That's 4th fouls now for Yoyoy.
Yes, and he committed 3 very quick fouls here in the 2nd quarter.
Joseph Herrera against Mike Cristobal. Well, Herrera is giving away about 2 inches in height and about 10 pounds in weight. But he eludes. Oh, he didn't elude Cristobal. Here's Steve Watson. The ball deflected. Perry Saldana tries a baseline drive, rams right into Philip Cesar, and is guilty of an offensive foul. Abed Gidaben is recalled to the bench by Tommy Manotoc, and here comes Ferry Ubalde.
That's right, and the center for the team will be a pull-out center in the person of Padim Israel.
Mike Cristobal orchestrating the offensive for the Redmanizers at this point, while Ed Ducot waits at the scorekeeper's desk. He'll come in at the first occasion of a dead ball. Meantime, Freddy Ubalde finds Philip Cesar in the 3-point territory. He makes his move now, swings to the left, puts one up over Ducot, overshoots, and we've got a loose ball foul.
Padim Israel pulled down an offensive rebound, and there was a foul called against William Herrera. It's merely a side court throw in. Saldana is now being replaced by Ed Ducot.
Time left, 9 minutes and 3 seconds before lemon time. Mon Cruz doing the honors from the right sideline in front of the Gilbeys bench. Philip Cesar picked up by Bing Del Rosario. A great steal from behind by Joseph Herrera. And look at the Gins sprinting down court. Pass break in the making. Steve Watson pulls up. Nope. Bing Del Rosario loses the ball to Philip Cesar. Counter fast break by Crispa. Cruz missing. He gets it right back. Yes, on the second try.
Well, a power play by one of the smallest player on the court, together with Willie Herrera. Ramon Cruz getting it on the second try, ups the lead of Crispa to 6.
8:34 left in the second quarter. Willie Generalao directing the offensive for Gilbeys. Steve Watson trying to get into position. The baseline drive by Willie.
Oh, great shot. Left-handed shot by Willie Generalao.
And the Crispa lead is down again to only 4. Manning the backcourt for Crispa at this point are Cristobal and Cruz. The CC combination. Freddy Ubalde fires. Nope. He passes off to Mon Cruz. A trifle short this time by Cruz, and here's Willie General running the fast break again for Gilbeys, and a preemptive foul by Cristobal.
Foul, Cristobal.
That's a 14 foul called against the Redmanizers, and Cristobal and Ramon Cruz are being replaced by Bernard Fabiosa and Atoyco.
Tommy Manotok is applying very smart deployment of troops in this game, keeping practically all his players fresh throughout the game. Huh?
That's right, and you know, the first 2 quarters you can really pace your men, and they have a good lead right now, a 4-point lead. There's another foul called against Padim Israel. 5 team fouls right now called against the Redmanizers. We're still almost 8 minutes left here in the second quarter.
Gilbeys now looking to cut down to the Crispa lead to only a basket if they can cash in on this offensive. Here Steve Watson is underneath. He threw up a prayer.
That's a real prayer, Joe.
It didn't have a prayer. Here's Philip Cesar. Whoops! He pulled up abruptly, but he skidded. And Mr. Cesar, when are you going to learn that protesting a referee's call is an exercise in futility?
That's true. And right now we have Gary Vargas being sent back into the ball game to give Steve Watson a rest.
Time left 7:39. First half, 30-26. You know, this is an indication of the tremendous defensive game both clubs are playing. The very low scores. Huh?
Yes, in contrast to that, the series of the Great Taste Discoverers and the Toyota Silver Coronas, it's always been a high-scoring ball game.
And that you will see in our delayed telecast.
16 fouls right now, second personnel on Bernard Fabiosa.
Willie General with his familiar baseline drive. It didn't materialize this time. And Freddy Ubalde brings it down court. Picking up speed, he goes for the bucket.
And there's an offensive foul called against him.
Offensive foul, Ubalde.
Freddy Ubalde unable to control his momentum, and let's take a look at that foul by Freddy all over again in slow-mo.
And they're in penalty situation with still 7 minutes and 15 seconds left.
A fingertip roll by Joseph Herrera from a mile away, but he got it on the second try.
He picked down that offensive rebound of his own miss, and we just have a 2-point lead for the Redmanizers.
7:01 left in the first half. Watch out for the third exciting episode of Marco Polo this Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. right here on BBC2. That's the channel you're watching these PBA games from. Atoyco finds himself in heavy traffic. Patim Israel is completely open. 32-28. Crispa getting out of the woods temporarily anyway. Joseph Herrera. The Gins are really in a fighting mood. They know this is absolutely their last stand. Oh, we have a turnover here for the Redmanizers.
That's right, and they can really take advantage of the penalty situation called against the Redmanizers here in the second quarter of play. A lot of time to go. They should keep on driving into the basket.
Renny Fabiosa, as usual, playing the role of floor leader for the Redmanizers. Ubalde gets one up. Gary Vargas. 34-28, a 6-point spread for the Redmanizers. Join the guessing game as to who will be our Magnolia best player of this game and find out if you're right after this match is over. Joseph Herrera to Willie General. Maybe he should have taken the shot. They've got a timeout. Numbering conservatively 20,000. Andrew?
Yes, I think that that would be a good estimate, Joe, and I'm sure that the president and the Commissioner Yenko, should be very happy with the reception of the crowd for the All-Filipino being reinstated.
Del Rosario.
There we can see a bad pass, a turnover called against the Redmanizers. They have 15 turnovers in this ball game as compared to 13 for the Gilbeys Gin team already at this point.
And Terry Saldana is back in the ball game, so it's going to be another duel between him and Philip Cesar. Here is Willie General driving down the middle, missing, and the loose ball. Two Gins arguing possession. Gary Vargas finds Herrera. He fires a birdie. Got it.
Yes, it's a three-point play.
3 points.
Real three-point, about 24 feet away from the basket.
And the Crispa lead is down to only 3. With 5 minutes and 14 left in the first half, we have another foul spotted on that baseline drive by Atoyco. Joseph Herrera was the culprit. That's the third team foul for Gilbeys in this inning, as against Crispa's over the limit.
Atoyco drives over Joseph Herrera, who was not prepared for him in that play.
One more time around the block for Atoyco. 36-31, a 5-point lead for the Crispa Redmanizers. Willie Henry telling his teammates, spread out, fellas. Let's have some breathing room. Herrera giving it to Gary Vargas. He goes to position for the shot. Its arm is still cold.
Yes, he hasn't gotten any points in this ball game so far.
Opalde fumbles.
Oh, for a while there, he wanted to pass off to Ate, but he had not gained control of the ball yet.
Fingers must be slippery. 4 minutes and 41 to go in the first half. Here is Joseph Herrera assuming the court generalship role for Gilbeys at this point. Here is Gary Vargas working against Vadim Israel. A double team actually with Bernie Fabiosa also in the picture. And we've got a foul by Bernie Fabiosa.
That's going to mean 2 free throws for Gary Vargas.
And here is my favorite player, Tito Varela, coming into the floor.
That's right. We have Abed Gidaben coming in to replace Freddy Hubalde and Tito Varela, giving Bernard Fabiosa a rest.
All right. At the risk of sounding repetitive and monotonous, we would like to explain the rationale behind Tommy Monotok's constantly sending in Tito Varela in the clutches. He wants to confuse the enemy because with Varela's head in there, the enemy won't know which ball is the ball.
And Honey Boy just had a good laugh about what you said.
36-32. Okay, 4 minutes and 23 seconds left before 11 time. Atoyko very slowly bring it down court.
And they're going to Gidaben. He's been playing so well, but there he is triple teaming that play and a good block.
Willie Henry dashing down court, frontally assaulting the basket.
That's a good play there by Willie Henry. Cuts down the lead to only 2 points, 36-34, 4 minutes and 4 seconds.
The pressure defense of Gilbeys guards worked against them that time. A foul called on Willie.
That's his second personal foul.
Only a 2-point lead for the Redmanizers. They have to buy a basket in this play if they want to keep the Gins at arm's length. Here is Dennis Roldan, reputedly the lucky charm of Turing Valenzuela.
And after 20 straight minutes of play, we have Henry Lau getting his first rest in the ball game.
Philip Cesar inbounding from the left sideline. Atoyko getting a pick from Gidaben. He gives it to Gidaben. And there, everybody ganged up on Gidaben. Somebody committed a foul. Saldaña.
You know, that is exactly the play that they did. It's a pick and roll. Gidaben provided the pick for Atoy, then rolled into the basket, got the pass from Atoy. Not enough help coming from the weak side.
Here's Tito Varela. Cesar. Over to Gidaben. Again.
It's a power play by Abed Gidaben, you know.
16 points now.
Yes, Joe. Together with Atoy, they've been providing the spark for the Redmanizers. A 4-point lead for them.
But they're not out of the woods, not by a long shot. The Gilbeys team have the adrenaline flowing in their veins and out of their ears. Tito Varela commits the foul.
And those are useless fouls at this point because of penalty situation. You know, they've been clearing the lane for Joseph Ferreira, who's a good drive-in artist and a good outside shot. He can make use. He has already 11 points in the ball game.
That's 12 points for Joseph Herrera. 38-35, Gilbeys. Once again, coming to within striking distance of the Redmanizers. Just a basket separating the two clubs now with 3 minutes and 32 left in the first half. Atoyko with that slow, lazy dribble is working out the offensive as well as catching oxygen. He tried to get it into Philip Cesar, but the double team on Cesar worked beautifully. And Gary Vargas got a foul from Atoyko.
Let's take a look at that play again. It's a fast break play for the Gilbeys Gin team, and there's the foul by Atoy. 2 free throws for Gary Vargas. A chance for him to tie the ball game.
You know, I get a big kick every time Tito Salita announces a foul by Atoyko. He says foul ko as if he were acknowledging the foul himself.
Well, Gary Vargas having only 1 point in the ball game, 2 right now, splitting his charities again.
And look at this. There's only a 1-point lead by the Crispa Redmanizers, and Tommy Manotok has just stood up from his chair. He is sufficiently alarmed by the turn of developments against him. Atoyko promptly comes to the rescue.
He was calling for a timeout. It was not given by the officials because the play had already gone through.
Let's watch Gary Vargas. He went up without the ball. And there's the timeout. They're getting a big kick from a sideshow being provided by some very, very avid Crispa fans doing a dance number on the railing there on the upper backs. I just hope none of them fall down. A loose ball foul spotted after that miss by Joseph Herrera, acknowledged by Abid Gidabin.
It's going to mean 2 free throws for Ed Ducot, a chance for him to cut down that 3-point lead of the Redmanizers. And again, the play was made because they cleared the lane for Joseph Herrera against Tito Varela.
Ed Ducot looking rather sheepishly at his bench and apologizing very quietly and making the second charity. 40-38, just a basket now separating the two clubs as Tito Varela mans the backcourt along with Atoyco. Assigned to him is Dennis Roldan. Israel. Guarding him is Terry Saltanya. Abid Gidabin is fouled. That's the first foul for Dennis.
Yes, and Roldan readily acknowledges the foul. 2 minutes and 36 seconds left in the first half of play.
Varela inbounds. Atoyco fires a 20-footer. A trifle short. And Philip Cesar points to Gary Vargas. Oh, he tapped it out last.
Yes, the ball was tapped by Padim Israel, and he hit the fingers of Gary Vargas before going out.
Abid Gidabin hounded by Ed Ducot. Tried to get it into Philip Cesar, but again, the defenses of Gilbeys working magnificently. 40-38. Now the Gins are in a position to equalize if they can cash in on this play. Here's Joseph Herrera. Saldaña gets the alley-oop pass. Oh, he was in too deep, and there was a triple team on him. And here's Atoyco coming out of that melee, dribbling down court. He pulls up, and there's the patented Atoyco shot.
Yes, and nobody does that as perfect as Atoyco here in the PBA. He really loves to run that fast break with the ball in his hands. He knows what to do with it. Take a shot or pass off. Oh, and Gary Vargas is not having the game that he's been having for the past 7 or 8 games.
Yes, his guns are unusually silent tonight.
And then you can see Turing Valenzuela reacting. He's going to probably field in Marlo Hakutin for Gary Vargas.
Here's Atoyco. Oh, he tried to lob it into Gidabin. He saved it, goes up, off the glass.
Well, Atoyco and Gidabin top scorers for their team, right, Joe?
That's right. Gidabin has 18 points. Atoyco has 12. Philip Cesar with an interception in midair. The Redmanizers going into a fast break again. The shot is counted with Vargas committing a foul on Cesar. Cesar has a chance for a grand slam.
That's right. And the lead is suddenly up to 8 points. You can see there Gidabin getting that pass, fielding it back to Philip Cesar, who went for the basket, got that foul from Gary Vargas, a chance for a 3-point play.
And that 8-point burst by the Crispa Redmanizers stretched their lead to 8 points anew. Israel is replaced by Ito Yesguera. And by the way, in the delayed telecast of the game between Toyota and Great Taste, you will see an interview by Danny Sembrano with the very charming wife of Ito Yesguera.
Right, a completed grand slam for Philip Cesar, a 9-point lead, a minute and 20 seconds left in the first half of play.
It's a 9-point lead for the Redmanizers. Here is Joseph Herrera working off Tito Varela. He draws a double team. Dennis Roldan, a bounce pass inside to Terry Saldaña, inside the 3-second area. They lost it.
Last touch called against Ed Ducot in that play.
The break seemed to be going against Gilbeys at this juncture. With only a minute and 4 seconds to go, Philip Cesar in the left flank is going to challenge Terry Saldaña. Doesn't make it. Ito Yesguera with a follow-up. Nope. Terry Saldaña is right there for the rebound. Dennis Roldan promptly turns around. He goes up. Yes, sir. It's a foul by Tito Varela.
That's right. A blocking foul is called against Varela. 2 free throws for Dennis Roldan.
A 9-point deficit for Gilbeys with 50 seconds left in the first half. Well, Dennis Roldan is no great shakes from the start.
I think he's feeling the pressure. You can see the crowd. It's a different thing when the crowd is hooting when you take those foul shots, Joe.
You bet. You can wilt under that kind of pressure.
That's very true.
47-38. Ito Yesguera snaps one off and misses.
Well, he got a good assist pass from Atoyco, but he still can't find his range coming into the ball game a little bit cold. A good block by Varela.
But recovered by Roldan, and we have
a lifting violation called against Roldan. And a technical foul also called against him.
So it's going to be a technical foul shot for the Crispa Redmanizers, and they will keep possession, whether they make it or not.
That's right, Joe. Because the violation had been called, so Danya must have uttered some words. Atoyco will take the technical for the Redmanizers.
I'm sure those words were not "God bless you, sir." 48-38 is the count. An even 10-point lead now for the Redmanizers. They will inbound from the backcourt. Only 32 seconds left before halftime. 23 seconds left in the shot clock of Crispa. Ko going against Joseph Herrera. Herrera isn't giving Ko any breathing room, but he can get those shots in just the same.
Only 20 seconds left. Chance for a last play if the Gilbeys Gin should elect for that.
A dozen-point lead for the Redmanizers. Only 12 seconds left. Roll down. Yes, sir.
Good hit for him.
50-40, a 10-point lead for Crispa with only 4 ticks left. So Gilbeys just might be given the opportunity for the last say in this half. Herrera. That was a gallant effort on the part of Herrera. He almost made it from 40 feet.
That's right, Joe. And
despite the double team.
That's right. He had no more choice. He knew there were only about a second left, and he had to throw it out.
Okay, we'll be back with the box scores right after this. If City Hall were to pass an ordinance calling for the arrest of all ugly people in the city, those 2 guys on your screens right now would be the first to be arrested. Right now, we've got the box scores for you at halftime.
We have the Redmanizers leading by 10 points. They have a total of 50 points, led by Abed Gidaben with 18 points, 1 personal foul. Atoy Ko has 15 with 2 personal fouls. Padim Israel, the benefit of a lot of shots from the top of the key with 6 points. Ramon Cruz, together with Freddy Ubalde, have 4 points apiece. And Philip Cesar, the top scorer, has only 3 points so far in the ball game, but he might pick up in the second half. And right now we have the Gilbeys Gin with a total of 40 points. And they're trailing by 10 points at the end of the first half. Joseph Herrera led them with a 3-point shot, 13 points. For him, 2 personal fouls. Antero Saldana had 8 points. He has 3 personal fouls. Willie Generalao, also the same statistics for him. Steve Watson having only 4 points in the ball game. Pinder Rosario, 2 points. Gary Vargas, the big dismal failure so far in the first half with only 2 points. He had 4 charities, making 2 out of 4. Dennis Roldan getting 2 points with a jump shot. And Ed Ducot only 1 point so far.
Okay, we'll bat the breeze with our special guest analyst tonight, Honeyboy Palanca, president of the PBA and manager of the Gilbeys Gin team, right after this cluster of commercials. All right, there you have the halftime statistics on your screens. We'll analyze that in a little while. Okay, you see. Coming on enough. All right, we'll wait for it to get stabilized, and then we will dissect that. In the meantime, if you've just joined us, you're watching the 3rd game in the best-of-5 final series between the Crispa Redmanizers and Gilbeys Gin for the 1983 edition of the All-Filipino Conference of the PBA season for this year. The score at halftime is 50 for the Crispa Redmanizers, 40 for Gilbeys Gins. Actually, the Gilbeys Gins came to within 2 points about 4 minutes before the end of the first half, but they allowed the Crispa Redmanizers to break into an 8-point blast, thus giving the Redmanizers this seemingly commanding lead at the end of the first 24 minutes. Now we're awaiting Andrew Howe and Honeyboy Palanca for some halftime analysis of the game. Okay, I believe before we give you the halftime stats, we'd like to invite you to watch these 2 teams, Crispa Redmanizers and Gilbeys Gins, play against the Philippine men's team to the Southeast Asian Games May 8th and 10th at the Rizal Coliseum. It's a special series with the Itbulaga and RVQ teams playing in the preliminary game. Don't miss the RP men's tune-up series with the top 4 PBA ball clubs, May 3 to 10 at the Rizal Coliseum.
You mean the Philippine Bulaga Association?
That's right. They will be playing in the preliminary.
Okay. We have the halftime statistics for you there. We can see the Redmanizers shooting so much better, 54% from the field as compared to only 39 for Gilbeys. For Crispa, it's 24 out of 44. For Gilbeys, only 16 out of 41. The Redmanizers, 100% from the free throw line, 2 out of 2. The Gilbeys Gin were able to capitalize on the penalty situation in the second quarter, 7 out of 12 for 58%. Rebounding department, again, the Redmanizers out-rebounding the Gilbeys Gin 30 to 19, 11 rebound differential. That's a big factor there for them. fast break plays, Crispa has 13 points scored from fast breaks, has only 5 for the Gilbeys Gene team. Just a 10-point deficit though, despite all these factors that the Redmanizers have shown dominance so far in the first half of play. The Gilbeys Gene team were even able to cut down the lead to only 2 before Atoy and Kidaben really held on and pumped in a lot of points. Kidaben top scoring for them with 18 and 15 points for Atoy. The big factor there is Gary Vargas, only 2 points in the ball game, and they really need his scoring, Joe.
Well, I don't really blame Gary Vargas for running a little cold tonight. After all, he's had so many difficult games behind him. Not only the past 2 games in this final series, but also the semi-final affairs of Gilbeys.
Yes, what could really be working against him now is fatigue factor, because he played so hard, especially the last game.
You can only extract so much out of a human being. All right, let's turn you over now to our man in the ball, Danny Zambrano, who's somewhere gallivanting around the Araneta Coliseum again. Danny?
Maraming salamat. Alam niyo mga kaibigan, katabi ko ngayon si Tirso Cruz III. Na kaibigan to eh. Kaso gusto kita interviewin, Pip. Patagal na, kaso doon ka nakaupo sa kabilang bench. Ano ba tingin mo sa laro ngayon, Pip?
Well, so far, it's not really that close, pero maganda naman yung game. Everybody's all out. Lalo-lalo na on the part of Gilbeys dahil do-or-die battle sa kanila to.
Ikaw, Pip, talagang Crispa natin ka all the way through, ha?
Yeah, ever since medyo makakrispa na ako. Kasi ever since naman, kahit during days pa, most of the players nagkataon na una ko silang nakilala, naging close friends ko. Yung iba, naging kumpare ko pa. Si Bernard Fabiosa, kumpare ko si Bernard dahil inaanak niya yung baby ko. Si Philip naman, inaanak ko yung anak ni Philip. Kaya magkukumpare kami. Tapos si Atoy is a very close friend also. Si Abet.
Outside of basketball, ano ba mga ginagawa mo ngayon?
Well, I'm handling a band right now which plays at Today Night Club. Ako nagbaband leader, sa kanila ako nagma-coach.
Thank you very much, Pip, and enjoy the games. Now back to the panel.
That certainly was a very interesting chit-chat Danny Zambrano had with Tirso Cruz III. And Honey Boy Palanca is back with us here at the panel. And Honey Boy, if you'll put on your headset, we'd like to chew the cat with you. You know, Honey Boy, we noticed that the pattern of this game is going pretty much the same way as the previous game. Probably one of the reasons for this is the somewhat lackluster performance tonight of Gary Vargas. Well, we mentioned that the fatigue factor might have caught up with Gary Vargas. Would you agree?
Well, I think that Turing has his game plan, and I'm still confident he's right. I'll leave that one up to him again, like I said. He told me before the game that he had a big surprise for the second half. And I always said that the most unimportant part of a game, any game, is the score at halftime.
How true. After all, the bottom line is the final score.
That's right, Joe.
Okay, Andrew?
Well, I was just going to ask Honey Boy, how does he feel, his team, again, down by 10 points, same thing. And it seems that he has answered it. I can't really see what strategy, do you know what strategy he has?
Well, Andy, as you saw in the last game yourself, we literally always lost our games in the third and the last quarter. Always in the third and the last quarter. And this is where a team who's not as experienced as a championship team, as I would call Crispa and or Toyota, they tend to get very tense in a championship game. They tend to really push for the first and the second half. They tend to really try to play their best players all the time, and they lose steam in the second half. And we started out well in the last 2 games, not very well in every one of them, but trying too hard in the first half always takes all the steam out of you in the second. And I'm not saying they didn't try very hard, but they saved their energy. I would say that the usual performers went really the performers in the first half, if you'll have a look.
Yeah, that's true, and that's what I was saying. The possibility that Vargas and Watson may pick up in the second half could do very well for your team.
Well, after all, a 10-point deficit is a very manageable lead deficit.
Well, we were down by something like 9, Joe, was it? In the last quarter, going to the end of the games, and they made it all up in the last game we just played.
That's true.
Right now, June Bernardino has just made an announcement, and everybody is rising for a minute of silent prayer. We're going to join them.
Thank you very much.
I believe that 1 minute of silent prayer was dedicated to the memory of Father Edgar Martin, the very, very colorful Jesuit who was Secretary General of the
Basketball Association
of the Philippines for many, many years.
Yes, and we retained a lot of championships, including the Asian Basketball Conference, under his tutelage and guidance, together with the BAP president, of course, Lito Puyat.
All right, with our backs to you now are the Gilbeys Gins. Now, Honey Boy Palanca mentioned some surprises that Turing Valenzuela might have up its sleeve. We will find out soon enough what those surprises are.
That's right. We might as well give the starting lineups for the Red Manizers already on the court. We have Fabiosa, Cesar, Gidaben, Padim Israel, and Atoy Co.
And for Gilbeys, we have Terry Saldana, Steve Watson, Gary Vargas, Joseph Herrera, and Willie Generalao, who's still taking a swig. I don't know if it was a swig he was taking or something else. Anyway, hostilities resume with Gilbeys inbounding from the baseline.
Okay, only 24 minutes left in this ball game. Let's see what's going to happen. It's going to unfold here.
Here is Steve Watson. Terry Saldana going for the bucket. Gets blocked by Gidabin. Keeps it alive. Throws up a prayer and gets a foul from Atoyko, who looks very shippish there. Look at him.
There's no foul that was called there, Joe. Just merely a throw-in for the Gilbeys Gin team with 11 seconds left on their shot clock. Ate was trying to say, no foul, don't call a foul. You know, that's exactly what he was trying to avoid.
Okay, that was Joseph Herrera missing from the three-point territory, and Gary Vargas nearly spilling over to somebody there in the bench of Gilbeys.
That's Bobby San Jose, no? Attorney Bobby San Jose. Good friend of Honey Boy here.
50-40 is the count. Gilbeys still laboring from a 10-point deficit. Philip Cesar makes it a bigger deficit. 12 points now, 52-40.
He gets his first field goal in the second half for a total of 5 points, a 12-point lead for the Red Manizers.
Willie Generalao, guarded by Bernie Fabiosa, works it over to Vargas. Philip Cesar is on him as usual. And here is Terry Saldana against Abed Gidabin. He warded off Abed Gidabin, and he is guilty of an offensive foul.
You saw that, yes, Joe. You already mentioned it even before the referees were about to call the play. Offensive foul. That's the, how many fouls does Terry Saldana have? Four personal fouls. That's going to tell against them.
Yes, and it is definitely going to hamper Terry Saldana in his defensive choice. Atoyko cutting loose again with a 20-footer. That's 17 points for Atoy. Looking for his 10,000th point, and he just might do it this year.
Most probably, Joe, unless he gets an injury. Atoyko is well on the way to that 10,000 point mark.
That is a plateau that is going to be very difficult to climb for anybody else. You know, as I pointed out in our previous coverage, while so many players are dying to get into the elite 5,000-point club, Atoyko is already looking to get into the 10,000-point league, a league which he will establish by himself. All right, here's Gilbeys on the offensive, and they filled the lanes beautifully. Poor Padim Israel had no choice but to foul.
He was trying to commit a duty foul, trying to save 2 points. However, there was going to be 2 free throws for Joseph Herrera as he was about to take off. Experience also on the part of Joseph Herrera.
Joseph Herrera has grown himself a very handsome beard along with his mustache. We had 54-41.
Sorry, Joe. We had Steve Watson coming in to replace Terry Saldana, who has 4 personal fouls. He leads Joseph Herrera leads the field for the Gilbeys Gin team with a total of 15 points right now.
Okay, 10 minutes and 25 seconds left in the third period. Here's Bernie Fabiosa, rather tentative. Oh, he found Abed Gidabin cutting in. He didn't make it, but drew a foul instead from Gary Vargas. That's his second personal only. Abed Gidabin goes to the line looking for his 19th and 20th markers of the game.
You can see that slow-mo play. Good pass by Bernal Fabiosa. Actually, it was a blind pass, but Abed Gidabin fielded it. Teamwork on the part of both of these players.
Share the adventures of professional TV newscasters. Oh, this is a very interesting subject. In the movie Jessica Novak. Catch her Wednesdays, 10:30 p.m. right after Marco Polo. Year on 2. It's a series, actually.
Jessica Novak.
Jessica Novak, a professional television newscaster.
Split by Abed Gidabin, a 13-point lead for the Red Manizers.
Willie Generalao gets it into Joseph, who's guarded by Padim Israel. There's a pick set up by Del Rosario. Watson finds Herrera. Yes.
Herrera has really been doing the damage. He has a total of 17 points right now. That's the number on his back.
55-44, an 11-point lead for Crispa. That was a fancy pass by Philip Cesar. He gets it right back from Fabiosa, puts it up and out. Steve Watson with a very authoritative rebound, and here's Joseph Herrera sprinting down court. His locks flying in the air. He pulls up, misses. Bernie Fabiosa with a counter fast break in the making for Crispa. Atoy Ko. Oh, even Atoy can bungle that kind of a shot, huh?
Yes.
55-44. Here's Bernie Fabiosa hounding Generalao. The pass goes to Watson. That was a rather haphazard shot taken by Watson. Bernie Fabiosa streaking down court against Ed Ducut.
Well, Gilbert there had a proper presence of mind. He ran around with Bernard Fabiosa and got that loose ball, made a reverse layup.
Actually, that was not the intention of Fabiosa. He wanted to ram the ball into Ducut's body so that when the ball goes out, it will be Christmas basketball.
Oh, Ducut missed at point-blank range, but Bing Del Rosario got that offensive rebound.
57-44 is the count at 57-46. Just an 11-point lead now for the Red Banizers. Bernie Fabiosa working off Steve Watson. Abed Gidabin puts it up at point-blank range and misses. Del Rosario pulls it down. Here is Willie Generalao. Watson, they're still going. Patim Israel guarding Watson. Managed to distract Watson somewhat. And here's Bernie Fabiosa. Is he going to go one-on-one? Nope. It's a beautiful passing play. They filled the lanes beautifully, and the shot is counted.
Well, a lot of exhibition play in that play, showboating time for them. And for a while there, I thought Padim Israel would not be able to field that pass of Bernard Fabiosa.
The Crispa Red Banizers playing like the Harlem Globetrotters in that piece of action. 59-46, a 13-point lead for Crispa. Generalao shot was somewhat deflected. Here's Bernie Fabiosa. And the ball goes right over the board and out of bounds. Gilbeys will inbound. Joseph Herrera, along with Willie Generalao, are the backcourt combination for Gilbeys at this juncture. Steve Watson playing the high post, providing a shield for Herrera. Bingo!
He continues to burn for the Gilbeys Gin team. 19 points for him, Joe.
You bet. That hot hand is burning hotter and hotter by the minute. 59-48, an 11-point lead for Crispa. Ko deep in the right quarter court. Makes his move now against Herrera. And it's a foul by Herrera.
Foul Herrera.
How many fouls does Joseph have? Three personal fouls right now.
Well, 11 points is still a manageable deficit. Ko lobs it into Gidabin. The turnaround, 13 points now.
The two top scorers are playing real well and they're displaying good teamwork.
What is happening now for Crispa is a two-man show.
Yes, Atoy Ko and Abed Gidabin. On the other side, it's been Joseph Herrera all the way.
Padim Israel with a recovery. Here's Atoy Ko. He gives it to Gidabin. Gidabin is a little red in the face after missing that one at point-blank range. We have a foul by Atoy Ko.
And he apologizes to Atoy Ko. Atoy Ko had to try to get back that 2 points for them.
Go.
Okay, Ko is recalled to the bench by Tommy Manotok, and he deploys by Cristobal to the fray. 61-48 is the count, a 13-point lead. A baker's dozen lead. Steve Watson. He drew the double team and got a foul from Israel.
From Cristobal.
Cristobal.
That is the second personal by Cristobal, and the 13th foul for Crispa, as against 3 likewise for Gilbeys. Watson, that's only his 5th point of the game. He's waxing a little cold too.
So far, yes, Joe, but we still have a lot of time in the third quarter. Then we have the whole fourth quarter, you know, but they're being given enough playing time by the coach so they could pick up.
So it's now an 11-point lead anew for Crispa, 61-50 with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third inning. Here is Mike Cristobal, picked up by Joseph Herrera, making his move now. Bernie Fabiosa firing from the three-point territory. Nope, Watson soaring higher for that rebound, like the Blue Eagle that he formerly was.
That's right, and Joseph Herrera bringing that ball very quickly.
Generalao misses the back shot. And we've got a loose ball foul again, called by King Cruz. Abed Gidabin was the culprit that time. Joseph Herrera inbounding from the right sideline. How many team fouls now for Crispa? 4 against 3 for Gilbeys. Watson hands off to Willie Generalao. offline. Didn't even hit the rim. And the loose ball is picked up by nobody. A foul committed by Bing Del Rosario.
That's right. Also 14 fouls right now for the Gilbeys Gin team. 6 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third quarter. 11-point lead for the Redmanizers.
61-50 is the exact tally at this point, and we have Bernie Fabiosa giving it to Hadim Israel. Mike Cristobal swinging to the left and putting it up.
Good play there called by the Redmanizers. Good pick provided by Philip Cesar. A 13-point lead. The Gilbeys Gin team must press right now. They're allowing the Redmanizers to execute their plays properly.
The Redmanizers keeping the Gins up constantly with a double-digit lead, and we have a foul by Padim Israel.
Foul Israel. Timeout Gilbeys Gin.
Padim Valenzuela calls for a timeout. We'll be right back. Get away from this game for a while and train my sights on May 15th, which is the opening day of the next conference, which is the reinforced Filipino conference. Are you planning an overhaul or some changes in the lineup of Gilbeys for that conference, Honey Boy?
Nope, no changes at all. But a few big surprises for the PBA fans, I guess, because we're going to have a few bonuses for the very wonderful patrons who continue to support the PBA.
Honey Boy, when are you going to stop pulling surprises? You've already pulled 2 in a row. You went into the Open Conference Finals last year. You went into the All-Filipino Finals this year. What else is in store for us?
The championship someday for him.
We want everybody happy.
Everybody happy. Okay, that's a good policy. Cruz sailing up for that layup. Nope. Loose ball foul. 5:25 left in the third inning. Still a 10-point lead being enjoyed by the Crispa Redmanizers. You know, admittedly, Gilbeys Gin definitely has the disadvantage as far as bench depth is concerned, but the guys they have playing are really putting their hearts into the game, and you got to give them credit for that. Abid Gidabin broke loose again. 25 points for Abid.
Early here in the third quarter, you know, Joe, 5 minutes to go. We still have a whole 17 minutes for Gidabin.
He might just reach a new plateau in his career scoring-wise. 65-53, a dozen-point lead for Crispa. Oh, the ball got away from Steve Watson. Oh, he got a little sore about that. What a bad pass given him. Here is Abid Gidabin working against Ed Ducut. As usual, he draws a double team. Philip Cesar with his back to the goal, tried to put it in, but instead drew a foul.
Foul Hakotini.
And you can see that Gidabin is playing decoy right now, especially when he has his back towards the basket. He's trying to get a double team, looking for those open lanes, and Philip Cesar, moving without the ball, gets the foul.
66-53. A 13-point lead for Crispa, and Watson is recalled to the bench by Turing Valenzuela. In his place, we have Gary Vargas. Let's see if Gary can come up with a much more impressive performance.
That's right. It's needed right now. They're down by 14, 4 minutes and 37 seconds left in the third quarter. They have to get some offense going for them.
Right. Willie Henry got it in to Duco just in time and at the right place, too.
Good pass there by Willie Henry.
Cutting down the Crispa lead to only 12 with 4:23 left in the third quarter. Here's Cristobal trying to out-sprint Joseph Herrera, and the contact whistle blows.
Foul on Ducut.
Foul Ducut.
That's the second personal on Mr. Ducut. And again, would like to clarify that he is not a member of the theft and robbery section during his off hours. Mike Cristobal is on the line. What does Mike do for a living? He plays basketball, that's what. That's why this is Asia's only play for pay loop. 69-55, a 14-point lead for Crispa with 4 minutes and 12 seconds left in the third period. Here is Jack Hakutin working off Philip Cesar and drawing a foul from Cesar as he tried to swipe from behind.
That's the 17th foul called against the Redmanizers right now. And Cesar is being given a rest, second personal foul called against him. And instead, we're going to have Freddy Hubalde being sent back to the ball game.
Freddy Hubalde has been the big enigma in the Crispa bench in this conference. He's been running hot and cold, on and off in these games. What can possibly account for that, Andrew?
Well, I feel that Freddy Hubalde, you know, he's been given the proper exposure by a coach, but he still has to develop his jump shot. You know, his style is mostly one-on-one plays, and Coach Tommy Manotok's style is execution of play, so it's a different thing. And so it's hard for him to adjust.
That's right. The player has to adjust to the team pattern and not the other way around.
Well, of course, it's been working wonders for them. The Redmanizers have won already 11 straight ball games, no, Joe?
Certainly. That's quite a feat on the part of Tommy Manotoc. And winning the All-Filipino Championship here will also be a first for him.
And there's a stepping on the baseline by Marlo Hakutin after retrieving that defensive rebound. The possession of the ball go back to the Redmanizers. Sorry, break for them.
My next announcement does not concern you, Andrew Howe, or Honeyboy Palanca, because you're both very young. And this is addressed to people like me and Pingoy Pengson. The music of the 60s by the Moonstrucks, the Hijacks, Bits and Pieces, Deltas, and the Bad Habits. Same old song, a dinner dance show at the Fiesta Ballroom of the Manila Hotel, May 27 at 7 p.m. Same old song, a revival of songs and dances of the 60s. You'll love it, whether you're over 30 or not.
Foul Israel.
That's right. We have a foul there called against Padim Israel. Penalty situation already called against the Redmanizers. 2 free throw for Gary Vargas.
And Philip Cesar comes right back into the fray, pulling out Padim Israel. Gary Vargas is on the line. He looks fresh as a daisy, Gary Vargas does. 3:24 left before the end of the third inning. 69-56. Oh, he blew his second charity. Well, that might have been a blessing in disguise. Recovery by Jack Hakutin. Let's see if they can hit pay dirt. No, they don't. No, Tuco does.
Yes, a 3-point play in reverse for the Gilbeys Gene team. The Redmanizers not getting that defensive rebound. They're just up by 11 points, 69-58.
By Cristobal. Why are the Crispa Redmanizers all raising their hands to signal the play? Here is Moncruz. He takes one. A rebound to Gary Vargas. Okay, Gary seems to be coming alive now. Willie Henrelao has it. He's always been alive. Joseph Herrera in the right quarter court, works it into Vargas. Look at him slipping past Philip Cesar, missing the shot, and the contact whistle blowing on the play. It took it again. We've got another timeout. We'll be back.